Look, just want to recap last week's game. Really, just proud, amazed, impressed with our players and our staff with just the way they competed in the game. We had to overcome even a couple of little travel issues, and our guys they don't make excuses. They don't let things phase them. They haven't let things phase them all year. And to come back in the game, to get 7 sacks, to really play well defensively, and get our punt return team going was some real bright spots in the game. In overtime, it was 100% my decision to go for it there at 4th and 1. I believe in our offensive line. I believe in doggone Tay Ison right there to get it done, and unfortunately, we didn't, and that's okay. And then obviously the bizarre deal at the end of their snap that goes over their head, and that's not on Jacoby North. That's he's just trying to make a play and kicks the ball. We talk about all the time about balls that get snapped over people's heads or punters' heads. We want to try to scoop and score, and no, I did not cover it. Don't kick the ball. So that's on me as well. Certainly, just a bizarre thing to happen, and we still kept competing in the doggone game. We had like the first and goal at the 8, and we still denied them from scoring. Made him kick again, and obviously the kid makes the kick. So, our team is, we've lost 5 games by 5 points or less. It's a play here, it's a decision there, it's a bounce here, it's a kick. I don't know what to tell you, but I know we're not going to make excuses, and I just embrace where we are. That's been our big theme throughout the season, is to embrace things. And so embracing the Lord's will truly in this, and just because I'm a guy who's a Christian coach, it doesn't matter where I work. The beauty of Charleston Southern is being able to be gospel centric. But no matter where I worked, I would embrace what's going on in our team, and fully embracing the Lord's will at this moment as far as the life of this team. And so we're ready to write the last chapter. I know we're going to respond in the right way because we have all season, and it feels like I've told them this is a bit like a bowl game here. Go get to play in a big stadium on a big stage. I know we'll be excited to do that. I know our team deeply loves each other, and so we'll respond the right way there. We're going to put a good plan together against a very good team. They got a bunch of good players, and don't look at their record. That doesn't matter. They're well coached. They got good players. They've had 2 weeks off. It's homecoming, and they got a big one after us, and I know they're going to try to create some positive momentum going into that game. So, because that's what I would do. Excited about the opportunity to coach, the last chapter, so to speak, of this season.
For y'all, 2 overtime losses this season? Was it 2 overtime losses?
I don't think it's 2 overtime losses, but it's 2 kicks on the last play of the game. Is it 2 overtime losses?
I think
it's just 1.
Okay.
It's just 1 last week. And then obviously Tennessee State. They go 2-minute last drive of the game. We have a 4th down. We get them stopped, and we have a pass interference that is. Unfortunate, our guys just, it was kind of like the guys throwing up a prayer, and we bumped a guy, but was it catchable? I don't know. And you see what their season has done since that game. They're 8-3,
right?
We had the lead against SEMO. I know it's in the first half. We had the lead against UT Martin. I think those are the 2 best teams in our conference. So I just. This team is a really good team in that locker room, and I know that it's, you look at the record and you go, oh, what are you talking about, Gabe? I really believe that. It's been one of the most fun teams I've ever coached. It's been a hard season, I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm not going to be dissatisfied with our guys' effort and what they've tried to do and the work they've put in, and our staff Man, it's been Herculean, and I think it's been God honoring, and I doggone that's the number one thing we're trying to do here anyway.
You've talked about just that character. I mean, how do you think this season has set up these guys though for their futures, or what else they're going to go through?
Sure. I mean, we have talked a lot just about, number one, you're going to need this team, right? When you're 35 years old, and sickness sets in, or you lose a job. These are the men that are going to step up and stand in the gap. When something, beyond your control, or maybe wasn't your control, maybe you made a mistake. You're going to need this team, and you're going to look at these moments, and I don't know why, so many close losses, right? I can't put my finger on that, but I do know that 1 Peter, that's kind of been the book that's been getting me through this. Some people read these self-help books. I just try to stay in the Bible. But it talks about 1 Peter in the first chapter about being refined by fire. And I feel like I've been refined before. But if my faith is going to really be proved genuine, then I'm going to be willing to accept being refined at 43 or maybe 53 or at any moment, because that's what's going to contribute to the salvation of my soul. That's what it says. And I don't argue with the book. So if this is what it takes, if I'm really a coach on mission, then I'm going to be okay with what's going on. And because I know that this is going to produce fruit, it's going to refine somebody. Now, maybe we don't. The hard times in your life are going to make a decision, right? You're either going to be a Christ follower or you're not. And so we obviously just pray that all of our guys are choosing the way that honors the Lord.
Going off that, you talk about turn the page a lot this year. I know this program is bigger than you, but for you, how tough has it been to turn the page and kind of get over some of these tough losses?
Well, I'm thankful for a praying wife. I'm thankful for a great staff and encouragement, and just also the fact that, hey, look, just being challenged in my own personal belief that if I truly believe these things, then I'm going to turn the page and get over them. And I've gotten encouragement from our players. I mean, one of the great things that we do have is each other, and that unity, that bond. When they show up on Monday afternoons, like, I need that meeting. I need to look at them in the eye. I need to feel their positive energy. I've told the guys that I coach, I coach the tight ends. I tell them every Monday, I said, you know what, like, my best part of my day is being around you guys, and this is a group I just will never forget because it has been difficult, but difficulty often brings you together and bonds you, and it's that way in my marriage too. You know what I'm saying? We've had some great years. We sailed through the first 7 years of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Me and Wimberley, and but man, year 8, that was tough, right? Shoot, year 19, that was tough. But that's what's really brought us close together, and I'm thankful for those tough times. I probably wasn't thankful, going through them, but now it's who am I going to be defined by the wins and losses? I'm going to be defined by the Bible says I am and who I am in Christ.
What do you see as the trajectory of this program?
Yeah, I think the sky is the limit for Charleston Southern. I really believe in Dr. Keith Faulkner and his leadership, what he's doing. I think Jeff Barber is doing an excellent job here. He's done just from coming back and seeing the improvements that have been made, and just the faculty, at large here, and the people that have come here in the last, even 2 years. I think this is the season where you see, and I don't know how long the season is, okay? I'm not saying 6 months or 6 years, right? But I think this is when Charleston Southern is going to explode. And I think I'm very appreciative of everything Dr. Hunter and Dr. Constant have done here for CSU. But being around Dr. Faulkner now and President Faulkner, I just believe that, hey, this thing is going to continue to grow, continue to be blessed, and I think there's good teams all over this campus, and I think there's really good coaches too, but also better people. And so I'm tremendously excited about it, and you know, I think our SID is top notch too.
Yeah, he's good.
Looking at Saturday, how much have y'all kind of talked about having the lead against Clemson? How much do you think that may help? Is there any kind of carryover from that?
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of guys that played in that game last year. And we got a lot of guys that you know are excited to play in such a big game at the end of the season against such a good team. And, you know, I don't think, you know, one game from one year affects the next game. Hopefully, you know, we've built confidence throughout the year, and we've got a young team with a tremendous amount of experience. I mean, it's amazing the number of games we've played, and, you know, with the young group, and they got a lot of snaps now. They won't see things that surprise them from a schematic standpoint. But at the same time, this is a good group. You know, it's a tough ACC team that's got a bunch of good players at a whole bunch of positions.
Looking at this game, I mean, I know it might sound basic, but just what does your offense need to do to stay on the field, sustain drives? What do you think is going to be key for you guys?
Well, I think we did not turn the ball over last game against Eastern Illinois, and I think that was huge for us. It's the second time all season, which is not good, but hey, it was a really positive step in the right direction. So we just got to be smart, you know what I'm saying? We got to find some things that we feel like are, you know, easy throws, safe long gainers. There's not many of those, by the way. But you know, we just got to stay ahead of the sticks. You know, if we're in third and long, all right, or all game long, then yeah, that's not going to be good for us. You know, we've got to be good on first and second down. That's really probably the biggest thing we can do is be great in those downs, and then we can sustain some drives.
You got going through the season, you know, every game y'all thought y'all had a chance to win, and it's a little more pressure in the conference games, and the guys here to talk about the losing streak and all that.
Sure.
This Saturday, can't you just let it all hang out? I mean, nobody in the world expects Charleston Southern to beat Florida State.
Sure.
But can't you? Isn't it easier in a sense?
Yeah, I think you can play free. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you
just
can
go
take a little
out.
stress out of it, right? You know, I think you know, hey, just cut it loose. You know, and it's us against the world, right? And that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That those are fun environments to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's, hey, my back's against the wall, and we got to come out and we got to do something, right? And so I think, you know, just that, you know, all of our guys are great competitors, and so I don't think they'll be, you know, the moment will be too big for them or anything like that. They're just going to go play, you know, normal football. And the good part about the game being at the end of the season is, hey, we've been battle tested, right? We've seen a lot of defenses, we've seen a lot of special teams schemes, we've seen a lot of offensive schemes. So it's not like you're walking out there game one or game two and you're trying to figure out, you know, who we are. You know, I think we know who we are, and now, hey, let's just go let it hang loose and play.
How do you feel about the? I mean, I noticed Wofford is playing South Carolina, Citadel's playing Clemson. This is sort of the, you know, for lack of a better word, the money game weekend for a lot of FCS schools.
Right.
Are you in favor of these games? Would you like to, I know one year or two they played more than one, Charleston Southern did.
Sure.
I mean, what's your general attitude? Because they are beneficial from a monetary standpoint.
Financially, yeah, incredible, right? But also opportunity-wise. Good for recruiting, good to go play, you know, in an environment, you know, like this, with so many people in the stands, and deal with the noise, and you know, feel that grass under your feet, and go test yourself against, you know, such great competition. So I do think, you know, they are a good thing for college football. They're certainly a good thing for Charleston Southern, so I think it's exciting for our players.
What's your in your previous stint here, and I guess you could include Clemson last year, but in your previous stint here, what was your most memorable game the money game thing. I mean, what's it?
Oh,
I mean, we were just talking off the record about the
Yeah.
Florida State game where you had all those players out.
yeah,
But I mean, y'all played some other guys.
Well,
You
the
played
best,
Colorado and
yeah. Well, yeah. We can talk a long time. We read a book about this.
Did y'all go to Hawaii?
I've been to Hawaii. We played Tim Tebow his senior year. You mentioned Colorado. We scheduled that in the middle of the season.
yeah.
That's why we have lights now here. For those of you that are taking notes at home, that was an interesting team meeting. Walk in and say, "Hey, we're going to play Colorado in 2 weeks." Excuse me. But the most memorable one, I think, is when we played Vanderbilt. It was a rainy night in Nashville. Man, we battled our tail off. I think we lost 21-20. Had an opportunity, contested catch in the end zone, in the middle of the fourth quarter that we just didn't quite come up with. And I think that was 2015. So that's probably the most memorable one. They all have, unique memories. I can remember playing in South Florida. We went in, they had the Conference USA Player of the Year, George Selvey, playing defensive end. And we came out of the game and we're like, who is that? Who's the other defensive end? Well, it was Jason Pierre-Paul. It was his third game in South Florida. He ends up being the 13th pick in the draft. So it's like, who is that guy?
Yeah.
Jim Levitt was eating chocolate bars, drinking Pepsi, and running the gassers before the game. Those are all fun things. But hey, we're focused on this group and going down there and playing against a great front and an offense that has been productive. It's got a lot of good players. 247 Sports, 4 and 5 star guys.
On the film review, when you watch them play, do you see effort? I mean, do you see their guys playing hard and it's just they're just having a run of?
Yeah, I mean, I see a little bit of our team in them, right? Like they've got some character guys. They play hard. They run to the football. They play tough. They've got they've got some great schemes that give you problems. They just haven't had a whole lot of bounces, and so they've it's been tough. But I just they're a group that's got character and is competing hard and playing the right way. Because it's a stingy group, and it's not like they're whatever 10, 12 months away from almost being in the college football playoff. Mike Norvell obviously is a great coach and good person. Has a very good staff.
And most pass ever crossed before.
Yeah, I've worked. We used to go down and work Mike's mega camp when I was in Georgia, and that was I got a good sunburn out of it. Super nice guy. I've seen him at Black Mountain SCA camp a couple years in a row. I've never been in like a small group with him or anything like that. You try to let people just be normal up there. Try to just be coach up there, not worry about the logos and all that. But so I know he's a good person. He's a Christian guy trying to follow the Lord, and know some folks that have worked for him before, and obviously rave about him. So obviously a great guy.
Any ties to anyone else on that staff?
No, not really. Just conversation here and there, probably at a convention.
Yeah.
Do you have any guys from Tallahassee now?
Our Colin Sorensen is from the Panhandle. He's not from Tallahassee. Tyree Taylor's from the Panhandle, Florida. I see I know there's some guys that need a bunch of tickets.
Yeah, I guess you and Norvell could have a pregame talk at midfield and really kind of swap some sorrow stories. I mean, y'all
we're gonna swap it. We're gonna swap encouragement. I think what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, he's a good guy, and all coaches. We're all human beings. At the end of the day, I think sometimes you start hanging a whistle around your neck, and you see someone on TV a lot, and you're like, wow, I wonder what they're like. It's just a normal guy. We're all normal. And so certainly, any way I can encourage anybody, on their staff, would be, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I guess this is who I am. So, I'm not saying that arrogantly, I'm saying that as like a human loves coaching and loves coaches.
Coach, we appreciate
Perfect.
that.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
thank you guys for being here all season, man.
Of course.